So we just released our Snowfall Throw pattern, and I wanted to do a video tutorial of it so you had a better idea of where your stitches go and you could see what it looks like. It's a super squishy, soft, really textured pattern that I absolutely have loved working on. It's also really easy, so it's a repeat of rows 2 and row 3 and doing the same stitches. So we're going to start with row 2. You're going to slip stitch into the first stitch and then double crochet into the next. And you're going to repeat that slip stitch, double crochet pattern. When you're doing this, you'll notice, so I'm doing currently a double crochet, and I'm doing it in the slip stitch space from the row below. I'm now going to do a slip stitch into the space here that was previously a double crochet from the row below. You'll notice a little diagonal line, like right here, when you're doing those stitches. When you're doing your double crochets, because you're doing it in the slip stitch space, it might be a little tighter, and you sometimes have to finagle your hook into that hole. Slip stitch, double crochet, slip stitch. Each row is going to begin and end the same exact way. So this one began and ended with a slip stitch. You'll do your chain 1 and turn. And the next row that we're going to do now is going to begin and end with a single crochet. A really easy way to check your work is when you are flipping over, you'll make sure that all of the textured balls are lined up on top of each other. If one is shifted a little bit, that means you've missed a stitch, and it's most likely going to be one of those double crochets going into a slip stitch space, because those are smaller and a little bit easier to miss. And so if you're working on a blanket, I highly recommend, as you're going through that row, to turn it back and forth so you can see. So we're going to start with row 3. Now we're going to do a single crochet into this first space here. You see that diagonal line? We're going to slip stitch here and then double crochet into this space here. So we have a single crochet, we have a slip stitch, and then we have our double crochet. You're now going to repeat the slip stitch, double crochet, set until you get to the last stitch. See, this one is really tight. It might take a second, and especially since we're working with such a fat hook, to get it in there. Slip stitch. Okay, we have one space left. That's saved for the single crochet. So remember, we start and end each row the same way. Okay, I'm going to check the back side. It's almost like a game. You'll check the back side to make sure that it's all lined up, which it is. If it's not, frog it till it's lined up and then start over again.